on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's some quick stories you're seeing on social this morning. The city of Glendale, Arizona, changing its name to Swift City in honor of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour.
All righty then.
Welcome to Swift City.
I mean, it's actually kind of fun.
It's cute.
Well, if you're a Swiftie.
Aren't we all?
It should be Swifty City. Yeah. Come on, guys.
That's Chicago.
That would be shifty. Florida man is behind bars this morning for walking down the street naked. Not shocked there. Florida's always interesting. When police arrested him, he told them he was from a different earth. What is he smoking, and can I have some?
It's the water in Florida.
Oh, is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a little different.
I thought maybe it was the sun.
The meth.
Stop.
A man from Australia setting an unusual world record. Most tennis balls bounce and caught in shaving foam on a hand in 30 seconds. The record is now 12, and you could try to beat it at home.
I would love to do this. Why is this not a segment? We need to make this a segment.
I think I'm good.
Can we? No, we can make Tage do it.
Oh, that's right. When in doubt, ask Tage.
He'll do anything. All right, well, new this morning, March Madness kicks off tonight with the first four right here at home at UD Arena.
That's where we find Alex King live this morning with more on what you can expect. Alex.
Yeah, you know what? Southeast Missouri State University takes on Texas A&M Corpus Christi this evening at 6:30 here at UD Arena. And then tonight at 9, it's the Pitt Panthers versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. From a hospitality industry standpoint, after going through some trials during the pandemic, things are slowly but surely picking back up. Dayton's Jacqueline Powell says some local restaurants are still struggling, but there's hope that it will continue forward with a positive momentum. The NCAA First Four brings in a lot of traffic to the Miami Valley.
We've seen last year, and we always base our economic impact on the previous year, the economic impact, and we are talking estimated direct spending economic impact was about $5.2 million. So that's a nice sum of money to bring into the community.
And that figure doesn't take into account some of the indirect spending that goes into the community. Powell tells me she expects the city of Dayton to see as much spending as last year, but the Dayton Convention and Visitors Bureau won't speculate until after the event is over. Now, Fairleigh Dickinson takes on Texas Southern here at UD Arena tomorrow evening, and tomorrow night it's Nevada versus Arizona State. Stay with us because we're going to talk more about the benefits this brings to the community. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Welcome to a morning where we're waking up to some snow showers across the region. Yes, we are still dealing with old man winter. Hasn't been a particularly prolific 24 hours, but if you're just waking up, you may actually spot some snow on the ground. I don't really see this being a problem on the roads. There may be a spot or two around that has a little bit of snow, but by and large, this is flakes in the air getting down to the ground and perhaps melting on contact. Yet again, temperature-wise, we're in the mid to upper 20s. This isn't a big concern. Air temperatures themselves are cold enough to support snow, but it is the ground temperatures themselves that are just a little bit too warm, although, you know, there could still be a spot or two that does pick up some more light snow. We're really picking that up on our cameras. Look at the top right, that's I-70 and I-75. So if you look, you can see the snow on the ground, but the lanes themselves are okay. So if you're traveling this morning, it may be wise to give yourself a little bit of extra time as we are going to deal with some slower traffic.
A Dayton man is expected in court today, accused of killing two women at a gas station. Prosecutors are now charging this man right here, Deontay Holden, with murder and felonious assault. Last month, officers found two women shot at a gas station on West 3rd Street and North Gettysburg Avenue in Dayton. Right now, he's in the Montgomery County Jail on a $1 million bond.
We now want to give you a live look at Miami Valley Jail's website. We now know the name of the man accused of stabbing someone at an auto parts manufacturer plant in Englewood. This man, Linus Jordan III, now faces murder charges and felonious assault charges. Now, investigators say he stabbed and killed 42-year-old Sean Moore. Police arrested Jordan after reviewing security footage. The grand jury is now looking at that case.
A new proposal on abortion rights could be on your November ballot. Supporters are collecting signatures right now, hoping for a vote to replace Ohio's current heartbeat law. Gwyneth Falloon breaks it all down.
When the board approved the proposal yesterday, confirming the initiative includes only one proposed amendment, the initiative entered the signature collecting stage. Supporters need at least 413,000 signatures by July 5th to put the question on the November ballot. Should it pass, the right to an abortion would be guaranteed in the state until the point of viability, which is when a fetus can survive outside of the womb, and those who perform the procedure would be protected from punishment. If supporters receive enough signatures and it passes in November, legal expert Thaddeus Hoffmeister says it will replace the heartbeat bill, which bans abortions once a heartbeat is detected, usually around 6 weeks. Instead, it would allow abortions up to 21 to 24 weeks.
It's going to go much further than the heartbeat. Viability is viability outside the womb, so it's you have a much longer period to obtain an abortion. Where with the fetal heartbeat, you can find that much earlier in the process.
Again, over 400,000 signatures are needed to even put the topic on the ballot. The votes have to come from half of Ohio's counties. Should that requirement be met, the signatures must then be verified by the Ohio Secretary of State 65 days before the election. Reporting, I'm Gwyneth Falloon.
Senator J.D. Vance now says crews aren't cleaning up East Palestine fast enough. He blames the EPA for not doing more to help the people living near the site of the derailment.
The fact that we have this massive chemical spill and the people here still don't have any confidence that this stuff is going to get moved out of their community in a timely way is a complete disgrace and a complete failure of leadership. So we need to do better.
Just last week, Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw testified in front of a Senate committee. There he apologized for what happened. Shaw would not commit to paying for anyone's long-term health care or compensating homeowners who could have trouble selling their homes.
And this morning, we're learning new details about the latest military budget. The more than $800 billion proposal is the Pentagon's largest request since the mid-2000s. That's when hundreds of thousands of troops were deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now, the new budget involves stocking up on advanced missiles, space defense, and modern jets. Pentagon officials say they're beefing up defenses to combat the growing threat of China.
The AC Hotel Dayton is now open and welcoming guests to the Water Street District. Now the 134-room hotel sits close to the University of Dayton, the Oregon District, the Convention Center, and more. It also features Dayton's newest rooftop bar and restaurant, Foundry. The hotel hopes to contribute to downtown Dayton's ongoing revitalization.
Officials in Centerville are now sharing ideas for developing the city's uptown area. Uptown Centerville is the focus of new redesigned spaces. It's aimed at actually improving walkability and reducing traffic. During yesterday's meeting, the city leaders shared the year's upcoming construction and announced 3 new restaurants. To see how the city is addressing parking, head on over to our website, Dayton247now.com.
Our time right now is 5:08. Don't forget to enter headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Your weather's on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Households making 6 figures having trouble buying a home and renting. I take a closer look at the numbers and the impact experts say this trend could have on other businesses.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Across the Northeast, people are bracing for a powerful storm. The National Weather Service says a nor'easter will bring heavy rain, snow, strong winds, and coastal flooding. New York is already under a state of emergency, and Governor Kathy Hochul says parts of the state could see up to 2 feet of snow. The storm is expected to peak sometime today into tomorrow.
Heavy, dense snow means one thing. It's going to take down the wires. There's no way around it. When you have snow that's 50% heavier than normal, this is not the light, fluffy, pretty Christmas snow. This is going to come down like a brick.
Over 20 million people are under a winter storm advisory ahead of the storm.
You know, being from New York and New Jersey, there is a blunt way to put it, which is, this is not the pretty type of snow. It's going to come down like a brick. That really sounds like something I would say, because frankly, it really gives you an idea, and especially when you talk about the differences of snow. It goes everything from the type of snow where you sneeze and you can end up clearing a windshield to this type of snow that basically, for all intents and purposes, is the impossible snow to lift and is quite heavy. As for us this morning, it's more of the first of it, meaning very light snow, very fluffy snow. The temperatures, not just at the surface but aloft, are quite cold, and because of that, we are going to contend with these on-again, off-again snow flurries through probably mid-morning. By the early afternoon, we'll see those clear out. Clouds will clear out somewhere in the evening, and then from there, tomorrow is a sunshine-filled day. We're only getting into the mid-30s today, which is about 15 degrees below average. We'll be all the way down in the 20s, conceivable. And it really comes down to this. If we get light enough winds, we could have a couple of upper teens. If we don't see those winds lighten up all the way, it'll be more mid-20s. Tomorrow, though, warmer day overall. Highs will be in the mid to upper 40s. We will get into the 50s. In fact, mid to upper 50s are likely as we get into the Thursday and Friday time period. It does look like we have an issue right now on the I-75 South near US 40. That is exit 63. So that is on the north area of town. Does look like that is backing things up. So that's north of 70. That's part of your morning commute and you're just about to leave. Give yourself some extra time. Again, I-75 South at US 40, exit 63. An incident reported there.
Well, the housing market continues to be pulled in different directions. While some markets are showing declines in prices, U.S. home prices are still up 1.4% this past January. That's according to real estate company Redfin.
As Dee Dee Gatton found out, even those with six-figure salaries are having a hard time buying a home and are looking at other options.
Many have long considered buying a home a big part of achieving the American dream. But according to government estimates, that dream is out of reach for more people. The number of households making $150,000 or more annually and renting jumped to more than 3 million between 2016 and 2021, according to Census Bureau estimates. I spoke to CEO of flooring company Happy Co Floors, Jessica Bronner. She says this hits close to home. She's had to put her life goals on hold as she says buying a home becomes more difficult.
I'm kind of ready to settle down and have a family. And obviously you don't want to do that in an apartment. So it's kind of delayed my long-term goals. I know personally, even though I make $150,000 a year, I just didn't feel comfortable with what I was getting for $300,000.
We have seen a rapid run-up in home prices past 3 years, 30%, 40% increases in many local markets across the country. And furthermore, fastest rise in mortgage rate, going from 3% to 7% in such a short duration of time.
Chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, Lawrence Yoon, points out the bigger impact of this trend in home buying on the overall economy. Everything from remodeling to buying furniture goes hand in hand with the home buying process. He says buying less could pull back growth in other sectors. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Dee Dee Gatton.
5:17 is our time right now. The Fed watching the Silicon Valley Bank closely. In minutes, the president's response to the collapse and when the Fed's review will be released to the public.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Money Sense is sponsored by Abbey Credit Union.
If you're looking to purchase a home, you're probably looking to get informed about your home loans. A home loan is also called a mortgage. Here are some important things to know about getting a home loan. You should do your research on the different types of loans available. These include fixed rate, adjustable rate, FHA, and VA home loans. You should also know your credit score. Having a good credit score will ultimately help you receive a better rate term on your loan. Finally, find a lender you trust. Spend time researching different lenders based on rates, reputation, and the loans they specialize in. If you have any questions about this process, visit our local pros right here in town.
Abbey Credit Union is celebrating 85 years. We can help with low-rate mortgage, home equity, vehicle, or student loans. Abbey can even consolidate your credit card debt with no transfer fees. Visit any of our branches today and find out what Abbey Credit
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning and welcome to today's Pet of the Day. Fester joins us. Fester sent in by Kelly, and I believe the word on Fester is that very lazy cat. So we've got a Garfield here, except obviously he's a little bit more darker, so maybe more of a darker cat than Garfield. But either way, I do love where you hear, oh, this cat's lazy. Like, way to toss your own pet under the bus. Then again, I do it often as well. Here's what we're looking at for today. Green paws across the board. Maybe early on we're going to contend with these snowflakes, but if you're the type of person that doesn't mind walking in the snow, and again, this is mainly relegated to the grass, this is not going to be too much of a problem. Temperatures should be in the mid to upper 30s yet again today. It is worth pointing out with the winds, it's going to feel like the 20s. So again, maybe one of those yellow paws in terms of temperature, but actually condition-wise, It's a green pause. Something we are tracking rather closely this morning, right along the I-75 Montgomery and Miami County line. You can see traffic significantly backed up in that area. This is something we're watching right now. I-75 South US 40 does look like it is the left lane on 75 South. So again, something we're tracking really closely as of right now.
Today's number of the day provides feedback to the EPA. 61% of voters say that should be a limit on how long Environmental Protection Agency can review a project before final approval. This refers to the EPA's practice of reviewing building plans set by developers. Almost all voters say if the project already meets all relevant environmental standards, the EPA should have no more than 1 year for review.
And let's give you a live look this morning from the White House, where President Joe Biden outlined his plan to contain the Silicon Valley Bank collapse on Monday. But some customers still made a bank run. The Federal Reserve is placing the bank under the microscope. Michelle Barr, the Fed's vice chair for supervision, is leading the probe, which will focus on how regulators, including some feds, missed the financial storm. The Fed's review is scheduled to be publicly released May 1st. President Biden says taxpayers won't be on the hook for the help that Silicon Valley Bank gets. He added that those responsible for the collapse will be held accountable.
Pfizer agreed to purchase the cancer drug maker Seagen for $43 billion. Seagen is a leader in developing a type of medicine called antibody drug conjugates. Now, these are precision medicines, and they deliver cancer-killing drugs so potent they may otherwise be too toxic to use, and they deliver these drugs directly into a tumor site, which may increase its efficiency with fewer side effects. Well, a survey of 2,000 women found that 57% said they used to exercise more frequently than they do now, with exercise burnout sidelining them for 9 days at a time. On average, women exercise 4 times a week, although 52% admit to exercising 3 times or less. This was conducted by one poll for Intimina. The survey also found the average workout lasts 44 minutes and consists of a variety of exercises. Well, a survey found it can be hard to know just how healthy our meals are, since the majority of Americans don't understand or read nutrition labels. This was conducted by one poll for the meal kit brand Greene, and it shows most respondents believe their diet is at least somewhat balanced. However, the ability and cost of healthy foods was also found to be a hurdle for about half of the respondents. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
A little deja vu for one Maryland man who just pulled off his 4th lotto win. Kenneth Weinberg won $50,000 last week on a scratch-off. It's his 4th win of $50,000 or more. He even won a $100,000 prize in the past. Weinberg is semi-retired and works as an advocate for a counseling group. He says he buys scratch-off tickets almost daily. This time, he's using the winnings to pay for some home remodeling projects. That dude is just like, good luck.
I know. That's crazy.
Good for him.
Can I get a little luck?
We're going to need a lot more than luck at our end.
I know.
I once went on a streak. This one game, I don't know what happened. I won maybe about $100, and that was over 5-6 tickets, and probably spent $25 on them. I just had a heater. I can't even imagine winning that many and that much money.
I love that $100 is like a heater.
It is though.
I mean, I get it. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying in our mind, $100, you're like, heck yeah. But this guy, $50,000.
I was gonna say most I win is like $400 in
I
my
don't
fantasy
win any.
football league.
I don't even win that. I never win. I never, ever win.
The trick is not to play.
Exactly. I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I ain't got that streak.
No, me
dude.
either.
Our time right now is 5:26. Still to come.
March Madness is here, kicking off with the first 4 here at UD Arena this evening. Coming up next, I'm going to explain how events like this one really benefit the community.
In today's Tech Bites, new features for Google Pixel phones. The camera on the Pixel 6 includes faster night sight. It's for capturing those low light photos. The update also makes Magic Eraser available to all Pixel phones. The Pixel now has Health Connect for storing health-related apps already built in. And Sony is introducing a point-and-shoot camera this summer for the visually impaired. It is a 2-part system. One is a CyberShot camera and the other is a viewfinder with retinal laser projection that sends a digital image to the user's retina. It's going to cost you about $600. And Alexa can now help you enjoy March Madness. Listen to this. Amazon has launched an interactive bracket for the NCAA men's basketball tournament on Fire TV. You just say, Alexa, fill in my bracket, and it pops up. You do have to pick the teams yourself, but then you can share your progress on social media. Happy March Madness. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. But firefighters entering a burning house will one day save time when lives are on the line. Visualizing a patient's most recent scan will help speed up decision-making in the ER. And while the woolly mammoth is still extinct, that doesn't mean students can't take field trips to visit them. The metaverse may be virtual, but the impact will be real.
Suffering from sinus congestion, especially at night? Try Vicks Sinex for instant relief that lasts up to 12 hours. Vicks Sinex targets congestion at the source, relieving nasal congestion and sinus pressure by reducing swelling in the sinuses. Try Vicks Sinex.
Think he's posting about all that ancient Roman coinage? No. He's making real-time money moves with Merrill. So no matter what the market's doing, he's ready. And that's how you collect coins.
Your money never stops working for you with Merrill, a Bank of America company.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social. A pair of twin brothers from Ohio are now being called heroes after saving their mom, who's having a seizure while driving.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And organizations at Michigan State University started a paper butterfly exhibit. They say this is to help heal from the stress of the pandemic, as well as the February 13th shooting. That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Good for them. And make way for a new food critic, Milo the cat, who you see behind us right now. Watch this. Oh!
Gagging.
Yeah, poor cat. He rejected a slice of pizza from his owner and didn't hesitate to show his dislike for the food. That
Looks
cat
like my toddler. Yeah, every time I give him broccoli, he's like, oh, broccoli. And then he's like,
I'm okay.
Yeah, pass. Well, this morning, our top story, we now know a person has died after a house fire alongside Bierce Avenue. You can see video right here behind us of the crews fighting those flames.
The Dayton Fire Department tells us the fire started on the first floor of the home and they saw smoke pouring out of the window. This comes on the heels of several other deadly fires in Dayton just last week. And this morning, we are learning police are investigating another deadly fire in the Miami Valley as a homicide. Sunday, Trotwood police and fire crews responded to a house fire on Gardendale Avenue. They say they found an adult man and several dogs in the home. The man, 26-year-old Jaquan Hardy, died at the scene. Crews were able to rescue the dogs. Both of these fires come after last week's deadly fire on North Broadway Street. Now, we first told you about it as breaking news here on Dayton 24/7 Now. Fire crews found bodies after they demolished the building. It sparked new calls for more funding for fire and homeless services in the city of Dayton. Some now also calling for the reopening of Fire Station 10. It closed in 2017 because it could not maintain staffing. To read about the push to reopen the station, visit this story on our website, Dayton247now.com.
Good morning. We're still dealing with some snow showers and even a period or two where it does come down as a burst. Yesterday we saw it every 5 minutes or so. I would look out the window and it would oscillate between almost a direct sunshine and just heavy snow. It was reducing visibility as I was looking out at the Wright Brothers Airport to the point where I could not see the near side of the runway. And other times I could see all the way to the far side. As for this morning, the heaviest snow Xenia into Wilmington. It's going to be on again, off again snow showers, but generally speaking, partly to mostly cloudy, with temperatures in the 20s, but it's going to feel like it's in the teens. Something we're watching rather closely, the effects on your travel. Bottom left image, that is I-75 at 3rd Street. We are dealing with the snow. Bottom right is the biggest impact. That's at I-75 at the Miami and Montgomery County line. That is where the left lane is blocked on I-75 South. That's part of your morning commute. We have seen a big slowdown in and around that area. Give yourself some extra time this morning.
Well, are you ready for the NCAA tournament? Because it's kicking off as Southeast Missouri State University will be taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi tonight at 6:30.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live this morning with a look at what's ahead. Alex.
Well, while UD Arena is quiet right now, lots of visitors are on their way to the area for the NCAA First Four. And during the pandemic, communities throughout the U.S., including Dayton, saw a decline in business and money coming into the area. The First Four is great exposure for the Miami Valley. It benefits the businesses in our area and people who live here when visitors come to town. They're spending money at our restaurants, hotels, retail stores, you name it, and all of that is beneficial for those of us who live here.
Plan to spend an extra night or two. We'd love to have you here. And while you're here, take advantage of seeing some of the wonderful attractions and visiting those restaurants, those great independent restaurants that we have in our community. You know, we want to show them as residents here that we're a friendly and welcoming community.
Jacqueline Powell with the Dayton Convention and Visitors Bureau says Dayton has such tremendous basketball fans here. That's a great reason why events like the First Four continue to be held here. She says if you're visiting, you won't leave disappointed. Now, Fairleigh Dickinson takes on Texas Southern here at UD Arena tomorrow evening at 6:30, and then tomorrow night it's Nevada versus Arizona State. Stay with us because we're going to talk more about just how much events like this one help the area out here in Dayton. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This morning, Sinclair College taking some big steps to benefit Miami Valley's chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. Former college basketball coach Mike Jarvis made a stop at the school to highlight teachings from his book. He also let people ask personal and professional leadership questions. All the money raised at the event goes towards Alzheimer's research.
Our time right now is 5:36. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Your weather, of course, on this side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Trying to save on the luck of the Irish just ahead and stretching your dollar. Megan O'Rourke provides some deals for St. Patrick's Day.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Good morning. We are waking up to some rather slick conditions across parts of the area. A lot of the snow has now moved to the south, but what we're dealing with is the residual slickness from this morning. It's worth pointing out that there could be a couple of icy spots, bridges, areas where the roads are disconnected from the ground themselves. The ground is pretty warm, but because temperatures have slipped into the 20s, there may be a couple of these roads that do get some slick spots, some ice. Now, out the door today, we'll deal with some early morning snow showers. Once you get into the second half of the day, the sunshine will come out, and then it's just a matter of how much sunshine we see and how warm can we get. I'm thinking at best it's mid to upper 30s. So if you are traveling this morning, do anticipate giving yourself some extra time. Not every road is bad, but there are a couple roads that are a little bit more slick.
This morning, we want to put mental health in the spotlight. Dayton 24/7 Now is partnering with the National Alliance on Mental Illness, also known as NAMI, to launch Sinclair Care's Mental Health Support and Hope. It's a campaign to encourage mental health awareness with a focus on young adults.
Now, NAMI is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. It's dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness through advocacy, education, support, and public awareness.
There are a lot of resources and support groups for you right here in the Miami Valley. You can learn more and find help and hope near you at sinclaircares.com or by scanning the QR code right there on your screen.
And of course, St. Patrick's Day is almost here, and not only should you be wearing green, you should save too.
As Mayor Rourke tells us, lots of local restaurants are celebrating the luck of the Irish.
Good morning, guys. What better way to celebrate St. Patty's Day than when deals on drinks and food? We're still a few days away, but here are just a few spots that you may want to check out. Now, this Friday on St. Patrick's Day, KFC is offering an 8-piece chicken bucket for $10. Usually that would cost you $14.99. There is a limit of 1 per order, and to take advantage, you need to get it yourself. No third-party delivery services allowed. Well, if you don't feel like waiting until the holiday hits, starting on Thursday, O'Charlie's will offer a special limited menu for $10. That's a savings of a few dollars per meal, and you'll be able to pick from fish and chips, a cheeseburger, or tenders and fries. Again, this is dine-in only and good only for Thursday and Friday. And a Krispy Kreme, if you wear green on either Thursday or Friday, you're going to get a free Greene Krispy Kreme original glazed donut. No purchase necessary. They're also selling limited edition St. Patrick's Day donuts through Friday. So happy deal hunting, and may the luck of the Irish be with you.
We, of course, want to know how you're stretching your dollar. Grab your phone, scan the QR code.
Chime in a picture or video and share your money-saving tips. You may see them featured right here on Dayton 24/7 Now.
Our time right now, 5:43. Caught on camera, an Ohio zebra causing problems in minutes. Authorities called to a shocking attack, and the owner trying to recover from the wild encounter.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
An Ohio man is now recovering from a rather odd injury. He was bitten by one of his zebras that took place on a farm in Circleville. Now, police responded to the attack and found the man with severe injuries to his arm. As they were caring for him, that zebra was then lingering around, acting aggressive, and as he was protecting several female zebras in the field, when the zebra approached officers aggressively, one of them fired a shot and killed the animal. The injured man is now listed in fair condition in Columbus. At this time, Ohio law does not forbid owning zebras.
We're taking a look at Purina.com, where the company is alerting dog owners who purchase Purina Pro Plan food. A recall on the prescription dog food has been expanded. The Pro Plan Veterinarian Diet's EL prescription dry dog food was initially voluntarily recalled in early February due to a supplier error. It caused potentially elevated levels of vitamin D in some of the product. Now that recall has been expanded following an investigation. Pet owners are encouraged to check their food and compare it with the UPC and production codes on the Food and Drug Administration's website. No other Purina products are impacted.
Good morning. Right now, the view in Dayton is one of a fresh snow, but a very light, wet snow. It is the type of snow, though, that can produce some rather slick conditions. The heaviest snow bands are now moving in towards the Clinton County area, in towards the Warren County area of Butler County. This is slowly moving even out of Montgomery County. Now, let's take the wider view. This is a little different presentation, but the general theme is for perhaps some of this to move into the area. I don't really expect a ton of snow, but we still could see some bands moving through, even through your morning commute. If you are traveling this morning, there are some slick spots. It's not every spot that is slick. It is, again, here or there, mainly the roads where there's a bridge or something else that disconnects it from the ground. That's why you see those signs that say bridge may freeze. In this case, those are the problem areas this morning, and we need to be aware of it. Early snow showers with some clearing. I think it's not just the snow that clears, it's actually the clouds will clear all the way out overnight. Tomorrow, 47 after a cold start to your morning. We will have temperatures back into the 50s as we get into Thursday and Friday, with Saturday and Sunday becoming much cooler. Now, as for this morning, the biggest problem area, I-75 South, that's at Miami-Montgomery County line area. Traffic very slow. The left lane was blocked. And we did talk to the OSP, who said that they are seeing some icy conditions out there. In addition, that same area, Dixie Drive, Lightner Boulevard, Bridgewater Road at US 40. Again, this is where we're talking about slick conditions this morning. You need to give yourself some extra time because you may encounter an icy spot or two on your morning commute.
Our time right now is 5:48. What did you say? Jason Derulo. Baby. Is that how it goes?
I don't know.
In minutes, the pop star surprises his server in his kind gesture following a trip to Nebraska.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
In this morning's GMA First Look, zebra attack. A man lucky to survive after being bitten by this zebra, seen on police body cam approaching sheriff's deputies as they respond to the scene. The zebra nearly taking off his owner's arm in a shocking attack.
Did he bite your arm? Did he?
Oh, hell yeah.
Is your arm still attached, sir?
I don't think so.
Deputies finding 72-year-old Ronald Clifton in a fenced-in field lying on the ground.
We need to expose the wound just to make sure to stop the bleeding.
When deputies arrived, the zebra appearing aggressive.
Is there a way for you to keep him back? We're trying not to shoot him.
Male zebras, especially if females are in season around, get incredibly territorial. That male was probably looking at all these things as a threat and was going to take out those threats.
And we'll have much more on this scary encounter coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
This
is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio. I just got an alert on my phone that there are parts of Ohio that are now under a winter weather advisory. It's not necessarily because of the amount of snow. Obviously, you can see we do have some on the ground. It's the fact that it's the type of snow with temperatures in the 20s that has led to slick conditions. So it does include Preble County. It does include Montgomery, Butler, Warren, Clinton County, as well as down towards Cincinnati. So if you're driving south of Dayton, you may encounter some slick roads, and it's also the north side of Dayton right now that we're seeing some of those issues on I-75 and other roads. So morning where it's not necessarily the amount, it's the fact that we do have snow with temperatures in the 20s. It's led to a really slick morning outside. So again, if you are traveling right now, you need to give yourself some extra time. Now, as for standing outside and waiting on your bus, it is quite cold out here. Luckily, I'm in a somewhat protected area, so the wind isn't that bad. But every once in a while, that wind does whip up a little bit, and it makes it feel a lot cooler. So again, right for now, snowing here in Miamisburg, but it's more of a flurry with that occasional breezy condition.
Well, we want to show you. This is Rosie, a Humboldt penguin thought to be the world's oldest. But sadly, the staff at the Garden Zoo in England reports she passed away peacefully just last week. Humboldt penguins' life expectancy in the wild is 15 to 20 years. Rosie was just 10 weeks away from turning 33. Now, the zoo plans to hold a special tribute. Rosie is survived by her offspring Twinnie, Webster, and Flip Flop, as well as her first grandchild, Pickle.
A life-changing tip. You've probably seen it posted before on social media. A waiter receiving a huge bonus.
But for one server in Nebraska, he's still in shock that it happened to him. Josh Cristiantano has the heartwarming story.
Do you iced tea with them?
Jordan Schaefer was working his usual Sunday shift at Charleston's in West Omaha when the day got a bit more exciting.
I was told that I had a party of 18 coming in. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's always fun to have.
It turned out to be an entourage for singer and pop star Jason Derulo.
And I was like, seriously? What the heck's Jason Derulo doing in Omaha?
In fact, Derulo recently bought a stake in a new upcoming Omaha women's volleyball team and wanted a bite to eat. Schaefer didn't think it would actually happen. Soon enough, though, Derulo walked in through the front door, along with his family and business partner.
It went as perfect as it could have. Charleston's is really into teamwork. So my coworkers really just kind of helped me make his experience as perfect as it could have been.
Schaefer didn't realize, however, that it was about to become an even more unusual day, the moment captured in this TikTok video.
Wow, my heart's beating. Really awesome. I couldn't believe it. Like, seeing $5,000 written out on the check was just, it was like heart-stopping, you know?
It's something Schaefer had only seen online, a celebrity tipping an outrageous sum to a hard-working food staffer.
To see it happen to myself is just kind of bewildering.
Now, he says he can put the money toward paying for school, and he can't thank Derulo enough.
Tuition was actually due last week, and I hadn't been able to pay it. And so getting that money just really took a lot of stress out of my life.
That's so cool. You know, I was a server all through college and even high school, and I never got a good tip like that.
And you tell me Jason Derulo never showed up at Red Lobster?
No, but funny, I worked at Eddie George's on Ohio State's campus, and I actually met a lot of famous people.
Did you?
Thank you very much.
Who?
Yeah, I was the VIP room.
Who did you?
Eddie George himself. And
really?
And his wife, yes.
That's cool.
Bunch of the other football players. Kirk Herbstreit, he was there. I'm trying to think. Troy Smith. Bunch of the football. I don't even know. There were so many. The
So
football
you're
players
saying
were
that
always in there.
none of them decided to tip you heavily?
No. Nope. Well, Eddie George ate there for free. I mean, it was his restaurant, so.
You know, it's interesting. My wife still talks about, she worked at a small mom and pop store up in Michigan. She talks about, selling items to Tim Allen when he came in the store. And she just loves that story.
I love Tim Allen.
And of course, as always, she's like, he's a lot shorter than I thought he would be.
I imagine. Most of them are.
Most of them are.
Well, 5:58 is our time right now. We got a lot more coming up on ABC 22 in the morning, beginning at 6.
The first four tournament kicks off tonight here at UD Arena. Coming up next, we're going to talk about all the things this event brings to the Dayton area.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Your 3 quick stories you're seeing on social. The city of Glendale, Arizona changed its name to Swift City in honor of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour.
And a Florida man is behind bars this morning for walking down the street naked. When police arrested him, he told them he was from a different Earth.
I don't know what Earth that is.
I don't know, but I'd like to be on it.
It sounds like a party.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Florida. That is a different Earth.
That is a different
it?
Earth. This
I was
is
going
true.
to say. And a man from Australia is saying an unusual world record. Most tennis balls bounced and caught in shaving foam on the head in 30 seconds. Strange. The record's now 12, and you can try to beat it at home if you feel so inclined.
Sure. And our top story this morning, we're following road conditions. As you head out for your morning commute, we're seeing a lot of slowdowns on your way out the door this morning.
Yeah, you can see an accident here at 75 at the Miami-Montgomery County line. We've been monitoring that closely. And also we do have school delays happening right now at the bottom of your screen. So let's check in with meteorologist Nick Maruziak to see what we should expect as we head out the door.
So we are still seeing those school delays because of ongoing light snow showers. Temperatures are in the 20s. Effectively, what has happened is the roads themselves have gotten colder and colder, and it's just enough to support the snow turning to ice. Once we start to get some salt on the ground, I don't think this is going to be as major of a problem. But in the meantime, we are talking about, again, some very slick and icy conditions developing this morning. If you still have a bus stop, again, we're listing those at the bottom of your screen. We'll have those up on our website, and we'll go ahead and link those to Facebook. Today, partly to mostly cloudy, ongoing snow showers and temperatures in the 20s. It is very much so slick outside. As for traffic this morning, that I-70 camera at Dayton International just swapped around, and because of that, on the other side of that camera, it looked like there was a pretty hefty delay starting to form. US 35 at Smithville, that is starting to get back up, and more importantly, you can see the snow on the ground. We have numerous incidents right now. 35 west in between Smithville and Steve Whalen, 75 south US 40, and Bridgewater Road at US 40. So if you are traveling this morning, give yourself plenty of extra time.
A rather big story this morning, the NCAA tournament kicking off tonight with the first 4 right here at home at UD Arena.
That's where we find Alex King live this morning with more on what you can expect. Alex.
Well, Southeast Missouri State University takes on Texas A&M Corpus Christi this evening at 6:30, and then tonight at 9, it's the Pitt Panthers versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. So really good games expected for today. From a hospitality industry standpoint, after going through some trials during the pandemic, things are slowly but surely picking back up. Dayton's Jacqueline Powell says some local restaurants are still struggling, but there's hope that it will continue forward with a positive momentum. The NCAA First 4 brings in a lot of traffic to the Miami Valley.
We've seen last year, and we always base our economic impact on the previous year, the economic impact, and we are talking estimated direct spending economic impact was about $5.2 million. So that's a nice sum of money to bring into the community.
That figure doesn't take into account some of the indirect spending that goes into the community. Powell tells me she expects the city of Dayton to see as much spending as last year, but the Dayton Convention and Visitors Bureau won't speculate until after the event is over. Now, Fairleigh Dickinson takes on Texas Southern here at UD Arena tomorrow evening, and tomorrow night it's Nevada versus Arizona State. We will continue to follow this and keep you updated on air and online at Dayton247now.com. Stay with us because we're going to talk more about the benefits of events like this one here in the Miami Valley. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This morning, we now know a Dayton man is expected in court in just a matter of hours, accused of killing 2 women at a gas station. Prosecutors are now charging Deontay Holden with murder and felonious assault. Last month, officers found 2 women shot at a gas station on West 3rd Street and North Gettysburg Avenue in Dayton. Right now, he's in the Montgomery County Jail on a $1 million bond.
We're taking a live look at the Miami Valley Jail's website. We now know the name of the man accused of stabbing someone at an auto parts manufacturing plant in Englewood. This man, Lytus Jordan III, now faces murder charges and felonious assault charges. The investigators say he stabbed and killed 42-year-old Sean Moore. Police arrested Jordan after reviewing security footage. A grand jury is now looking at the case.
And this morning, a new proposal on abortion rights could be on your November ballot. Supporters are collecting signatures right now, hoping for a vote to replace Ohio's current heartbeat law. Gwyneth Falloon has the details.
When the board approved the proposal yesterday, confirming the initiative includes only one proposed amendment, the initiative entered the signature collecting stage. Supporters need at least 413,000 signatures by July 5th to put the question on the November ballot. Should it pass, the right to an abortion would be guaranteed in the state until the point of viability, which is when a fetus can survive outside of the womb, and those who perform the procedure would be protected from punishment. If supporters receive enough signatures and it passes in November, legal expert Thaddeus Hoffmeister says it will replace the heartbeat bill, which bans abortions once a heartbeat is detected, usually around 6 weeks. Instead, it would allow abortions up to 21 to 24 weeks.
It's going to go much further than the heartbeat. Viability is viability outside the womb, so it's you have a much longer period to obtain an abortion. Where with the fetal heartbeat, you can find that much earlier in the process.
Again, over 400,000 signatures are needed to even put the topic on the ballot. The votes have to come from half of Ohio's counties. Should that requirement be met, the signatures must then be verified by the Ohio Secretary of State 65 days before the election. Reporting, I'm Gwyneth Falloon.
Senator J.D. Vance now says crews aren't cleaning up East Palestine fast enough. He blames the EPA for not doing more to help the people living near the site of the derailment.
The fact that we have this massive chemical spill and the people here still don't have any confidence that this stuff is going to get moved out of their community in a timely way is a complete disgrace and a complete failure of leadership. So we need to do better.
Just last week, the Norfolk Southern CEO, Alan Shaw, testified in front of a Senate committee. There he apologized for what happened. Shaw wouldn't commit to paying for anyone's long-term health care or compensating homeowners who could have trouble selling their homes.
And this morning, we're learning new details about the latest military budget. The more than $800 billion proposal is the Pentagon's largest request since the mid-2000s. That's when hundreds of thousands of troops were deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now, the new budget involves stocking up on advanced missiles, space defense, and modern jets. Pentagon officials say they're beefing up defenses to combat the growing threat of China.
The AC Hotel Dayton is now open and welcoming guests in their Water Street district. Now the 134-room hotel sits close to the University of Dayton, the Oregon District, the Dayton Convention Center, and more. It also features Dayton's newest rooftop bar and restaurant, Foundry. The hotel hopes to contribute to downtown Dayton's ongoing revitalization.
6:08 is our time right now. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
An Ohio man attacked by his own zebra. The shocking video and a dangerous moment. Just ahead, Tom Bosco shares the wild encounter from Pickaway County.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at right for now. Dayton International Airport area. There is a incident there that is backing things up. You can see traffic there. Miami and Montgomery County line, I-75. That is where there was an earlier incident. That seems to have been at least cleared. Traffic moving okay there. Meanwhile, US 35 between Smithville Road, there's an incident there. You look at our map and it is as crazy populated as I've seen it in some time. 70 west at US 48, left lane block at 75 and US 40. Of course, that's the one that we talked about. It's since been cleared. I-75 south at Wagner Ford, I-675 north. Now, if you're wondering how did this all come to fruition, well, basically, we have temperatures in the 20s right now. And also, we do have not just temperatures in the 20s, but a little bit of snow in the air. So, again, if you are traveling this morning, it's not necessarily the amount of weather. It is just the fact that we are seeing those snow showers cause some slick conditions to move in. All right, let's go do weather. Right for now, here's the view. And around the Dayton area, we still have these snow showers. They are moving south, and the good news is further to the north, there's not a whole lot of heavy-duty snow. There may be a burst in here, and the concern is if you do get those bursts, that they can produce that quick amount of snow, ice over rather quickly. Obviously, the crews are going to start to get out on the roads, if they haven't been, start to lay down that salt. It's really just all about of what fell, and the fact is it did freeze over. I don't know what it is about temperatures between about 25 and 28, but when you get these mornings with just a little bit of snow and that ice, it just makes for slick and icy conditions, and that's what we're seeing this morning. Again, if you're traveling this morning, give yourself some plentiful extra time. It's one of those cases where it's not the amount of weather, it's just the impact it's having on us this morning. Of course, we are tracking school delays this morning as well at the bottom of your screen. This is one of those mornings I hate weather-wise because there's nothing on the radar that says this is going to be a problem. There's nothing, but when you combine temperatures and a little bit of snow, it's just a perfect storm that causes icy roads, and it's very unfortunate that we're dealing with right in time for the morning commute.
Well, yeah, and you know the back roads often, they don't get the treatment.
Well, it seems like even the highways right now,
Yeah, that's true.
It feels like even ODOT was a little caught off guard this morning. So I'm sure they're trying to get their crews in and get the salt, or get the salts roaded. The roads salted to make it safe for you guys, which is why we're probably seeing some of those 2-hour delays. So those are scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen. So we're going to keep an eye on this situation, obviously.
We most certainly will have you updated here. Coming up throughout the show, our time right now is 6:14. An area animal shelter ready to take on a major project just ahead. A new setup in Greene County and how much they're spending to help some furry friends.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. We're going to start things out with traffic first because this has been an ongoing issue. 70 at Dayton International Airport access. You can see the police activity there. So we are just trying to get more information on that. Meanwhile, US 35 at Smithville now looks like it's starting to move. Earlier on this morning, there was an incident there, and 70 and 75, obviously that is one of the bigger cross sections of the area. Very slow going. It's not necessarily the amount of snow on the ground. It's the fact that it's snow and temperatures right now in the 20s, as we'll discuss in weather, that is causing these slick conditions. And there are numerous, and I do mean numerous, tie-ups and spins in the area. So if you are traveling this morning and absolutely have to, you need to give yourself plenty of extra time and be extra special cautious, because again, this is the type of morning where there's probably black ice, and because of that, we are going to deal with these delays. Now, let's talk about weather. As I mentioned, it's not a whole lot of snow. It is coming right off of Lake Michigan. If anything, we have seen those bands hold together a little bit longer. Yesterday, we talked about how there could be a couple of flurries or snow showers, but typically we do see this band start to fall apart. It's not the case this morning, and we did have a couple of heavier bands move through earlier. That has led to, again, icy conditions. And again, 25 to 28. This is the Goldilocks zone for us to see some icy conditions develop. I'm not sure what it is about this. There's just a point where we are going to still continue it, and we have to watch for these conditions all throughout the early part of the morning hours up until probably mid-morning. Meanwhile, cloudy skies will give way to some sunshine. We'll clear out for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, just as cold as this morning. Could still be maybe a spot or two that does get a little bit icier where water collects, but based on the fact that we will have the sunshine, based on the fact that it will be a little bit breezy, a lot of the moisture will be out. Early snow showers and breezy conditions as well as icy roads are possible early on today. Otherwise, I don't expect major issues as you start to get into the second half of the day. But this morning, we're certainly seeing them on the roads. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on those.
Well, it is quite an unlikely story, and it was all caught on camera. You're taking a look at that video behind us. A zebra attacked its owner in Pickaway County and acted aggressively towards sheriff's deputies, forcing them to put it down.
Tom Bosco from our sister station WSYX shares the shocking video and explains how the man is recovering.
It's been pretty well known that 72-year-old Ronnie Clifton kept these zebras on his property in rural Pickaway County. In fact, they're a bit of a tourist attraction around here.
Take pictures of them and stuff like that. Take pictures outside them. There's fencing around.
And sheriff's deputies say they've never been any trouble until last night.
I got attacked by a zebra.
What attacked you?
A zebra.
A zebra?
That's Ronnie Clifton on the phone with 911 dispatchers. He says his own zebra bit him. He thought it might have bitten his arm off. When deputies got there, they say the zebra headbutted a deputy's cruiser.
One of the zebra actually went up to our deputy, the first one that was on scene, and poked his head towards the driver's side of his car and his window. The deputy had to hit the air horn to get the zebra to go away.
Take a look at this body camera video from deputies on the scene. You can see medics helping Clifton to an ambulance, all while the zebra paces nearby, while deputies try to shoo the zebra away. Finally, the zebra comes too close to deputies. They say they were forced to shoot and kill it. We're not going to show you that.
Well, I had to make a decision, and I ain't gonna let no one else get hurt.
Sheriff's officials say there was no other choice.
He's already bit him, attacked him, knocked him down. His face was all bloody. There was kids there at that time. They tried to shoo it away a couple times, hit it with a stick, the one guy did, and then it still came back at him.
Tapping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines. The Greene County Animal Shelter in Xenia planning a nearly $500,000 project to enhance safety and add space. Now, the money will create a new intake kennel dedicated to strays when they're brought in. It'll minimize the risk of those animals possibly infecting others that have already been vaccinated. Right now, all strays and adoption-ready animals are held in the same wing. The shelter hopes the new kennel will be ready by this summer, but we're told it'll depend on contractors' availability. To read more about this story and others like it, head on over to Dayton247now.com, click on the news tab, and select Dayton Business Journal.
Our time right now is 6:22. A world-famous penguin says goodbye. In minutes, why the bird is so popular and how one zoo in the UK plans to honor this cutie.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. If you are driving, a major issue right now at I-70 and Dayton International Airport access, we just got some new information on this. Multiple commercial vehicles were involved in this. There were some injuries reported. We'll get updates on that. But as you can see, multiple lanes are closed on I-70 near Dayton International Airport access. So if you have a flight this morning, you're going to need to give yourself plenty of extra time in around that area. And you may need to plan some alternate routes, and there are multiple crashes around the area. So if you are traveling this morning, you need to give yourself some extra time. You can see how many there are right now, including 35 West at Steve Whalen, Linden Ave, Smithville Ave, Wilmington Pike and Patterson, and Dixie Drive at Leitner Boulevard. So those are just some of them that have come in. Again, right for now, the big one, at least on the major interstate, I-70 at Dayton International Airport Access Road. If you are going outside today, this is a day where you need to start planning ahead, that it is going to be rather slick and rather icy. Here's what it looks like outside as of right now. And, you know, obviously today's pet of the day, it's a segment that's a little bit fun, but let's use it in a serious way, because up until, I would say, 10, 9, maybe 11 a.m., we're going to go red. This is a case where it's not because of ongoing snowfall. It's because we are developing those icy conditions, which is dangerous travel conditions. Is it dangerous to walk? Probably on some of the sidewalks as well. There's some icy spots. So if you're maybe a little bit more not as steady walking, or you have a dog that pulls, this is going to be a concern as well. And a reminder to all those drivers out there, especially those neighborhood roads, those are going to be the last to be treated. Those are going to be the last that do see the trucks coming through, if they come through at all. So if you are traveling this morning in around the neighborhoods, you need to be very cautious, because again, today is a day where we're seeing icy conditions develop, and we'll continue to keep you updated on any of the roads and the closures as they become available.
Well, we want to show you a really special penguin. This is Rosie here behind me. A Humboldt penguin thought to be the world's oldest. And sadly, the staff at the Garden Zoo in England reports she passed away peacefully last week. Humboldt penguin's life expectancy in the wild is 15 to 20 years. Rosie was just weeks away from turning 33. The zoo plans to hold a special tribute. Rosie is survived by her offspring, Twinnie, Webster, and Flip Flop, as well as her first grandchild, Pickle. Our time right now is 6:28. Still to come.
March Madness is here, kicking off with the first four here at UD Arena. Coming up next, I'm going to explain how events like this one really benefit the area here in the Miami Valley.
But first, here's Genevieve Gorder with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
Everybody, I've got something to show you today that you're all very familiar with, but there's an extra twist. Now, we all love a good air fryer. It's quick. We avoid the oil, the calories, seriously, like 70% less calories. But as a designer, and I'm sure a lot of you share this with me, I think they're bulky, they're not so cute, and they take up way too much space on the counter. Okay, my rant is over. Needless to say, when the air roll showed up in the mail, I was doing a little dance. Let me tell you about this solution-based product that is going to solve all your bulky air fryer issues. It's called the Air Whirl Crisper, and it can turn any pan into an air fryer. So you just place this lid on any pan that you already have, and your food will be air fried in a fraction of the time. I used it the same day it arrived, put the lid on, press the button, done. And then you're winning because you can put it all away in the drawer. The Air Whirl is so easy to use, battery operated. You can store it without any of those tangled wires. And the thermometer is right here in the front of the lid. So you always know what temperature you are cooking at, just like you would on any traditional air fryer. Right now on ASA Deals, we are offering an exclusive 33% off the Air Whirl Crisper. You guys take advantage of this deal because they're not going to last long. Go to asadeals.com.
live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Our top story this morning, we are following several conditions on your roadways at this hour. In fact, 70 at Dayton International Airport Access Road is looking not very good out there, like a parking lot.
Yeah, it is deceptively slick this morning as you're heading out the door. There's also some school delays right now at the bottom of your screen. We want to go over now to meteorologist Nick Maruziak. And Nick, this really developed quickly here in the Miami Valley this morning.
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, temperatures dropped into the 20s. Number two, we had those flurries and light snow showers. And basically, you put those all together, and what you end up is an environment where icy conditions have developed rapidly. Unfortunately, it started out right in time for the morning commute, which means that this is going to be an ongoing issue. As for right now, the heaviest snow further to the south. If you're traveling around Cincinnati, those road conditions are going to deteriorate. Meanwhile, across the north, there's still a couple of flakes in the air based off of radar, based off of what's north. We don't have as much of a plume of moisture, so these should be, generally speaking, much lighter. I don't expect a ton of additional accumulation other than maybe some of these heavier ones further south. If you do have a bus stop, a couple of main messages you want to take away. A, it's very icy in spots, and I like the word that was used, deceptively. This is not a morning where you're going to fly to work, fly to school. You are going to have to deal with some icy conditions. Temperatures mid to upper 20s, and we will continue to see cloudy skies and occasional snow showers. Traffic-wise, again, biggest issue, I-70 at Dayton International Airport. There's also a backup right now, US 35 near Smithville Road, so that's in between 75 and 675. Numerous issues across the area. Earlier, there was one at 75 South of Wagner Ford Road, also one on 70 South near the Miami and Montgomery line. That has since been moved off and now moving a little bit more freely. But again, biggest issue, 70 West near the International Airport. We'll continue to keep you updated on any crashes that do develop here over the next few hours.
We now know a person has died this morning after a house fire on Bierce Avenue. Now, this is video of the scene where crews were fighting those flames.
The Dayton Fire Department tells us the fire started on the first floor of the home and they saw smoke pouring out of the window. This comes on the heels of several other deadly fires in Dayton in just the last week. This morning, we're learning police are investigating another deadly fire in the Miami Valley as a homicide. Sunday, Trotwood police and fire crews responded to a house fire on Gardendale Avenue. They say they found an adult man and several dogs in the home. The man, 26-year-old Jaquan Hardy, died at the scene. Crews were able to rescue the dogs. Both of these fires come after last week's deadly fire on North Broadway Street. We first told you about it as breaking news here on Dayton 24/7 now. Fire crews found bodies after they demolished the building. It sparked new calls for more funding for fire and homeless services in the city of Dayton. Some now are calling for the reopening of Fire Station 10. It closed in 2017 because it couldn't maintain staffing. To read about the push to reopen the station, visit the story on our website, Dayton247now.com.
Well, are you ready for the NCAA tournament? It starts right here in the Miami Valley as Southeast Missouri State University will be taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi tonight at 6:30.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live this morning with a look at what's ahead. Alex.
Yeah, while UD Arena is quiet right now, lots of visitors are on the way to the Dayton area for the NCAA First Four tournament. During the pandemic, communities throughout the U.S., including Dayton, saw a decline in business and money coming into the area. The First Four is great exposure for the Miami Valley. It benefits the businesses in our area and people who live here when visitors come to town. They're spending money at our restaurants, hotels, retail stores, you name it, and all of that is beneficial for those of us who live here.
Plan to spend an extra night or two. We'd love to have you here. And while you're here, take advantage of seeing some of the wonderful attractions and visiting those restaurants, those great independent restaurants that we have in our community. You know, we want to show them as residents here that we're a friendly and welcoming community.
Jacqueline Powell with the Dayton Convention and Visitors Bureau says Dayton has such tremendous basketball fans here. That's a great reason why events like the First Four continue to be held here. She says if you're visiting, you won't leave disappointed. Now, Fairleigh Dickinson takes on Texas Southern here at UD Arena tomorrow evening at 6:30. And then tomorrow night, it's Nevada versus Arizona State at 9. And of course, you'll find all of the information about the First Four underneath the local section of our website, Dayton247now.com. And of course, our sports guy, Matt Digby, will also follow along with this. Stay with us because we're going to be talking more about what you can expect coming up next. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
6:38 is our time right now. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Trying to save on the luck of the Irish. Just ahead. Just ahead.
Get an accent there?
Just ahead and stretching your dollar. Megan O'Rourke provides some deals for St. Paddy's Day.
That sounds a little more Scottish than Irish.
Yeah, just.
You're watching
just
Dayton
ahead.
24/7 now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
The dogwoods bloom in Charleston, South Carolina, but sunny days and cold nights are nigh. Some areas even expecting frost tonight, but it'll warm to the 60s by Wednesday. Meanwhile, a view from a snowmobile in Vermont. Meteorologist Ryan Munn of Maine says all the mountain trees were coated in hoarfrost. Hoary, an Old English word that describes the hairy, gray, or white appearance of such ice crystals.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Let's give you a live look this morning at the situation unfolding out on our highways at this hour. You can actually see that bottom right-hand camera there. That's 75 at Northwoods Boulevard. 75 shut down right now because of an accident. I'm sorry, not 75 shut down. The ramp from 75 to Northwoods Boulevard shut down because of an accident involving a semi, which is backing things up on 75. And then if you look at the top right corner of that, the 70 at Dayton International Airport Access Road. This has been going on now for about a little over an hour. Icy conditions out on our highways. ODOT crews have been out salting the roadways, but this is causing a major backup. And then the bottom left hand, 75 at Dixie, things are backing up a little bit in that area as well. We're seeing some major, if we can go to the maps this morning, we're seeing some major conditions on our roadways backing things up. We have accidents popping up all over the place. 35 west at Steve Whalen, 35 at 675. State Route 4 near the Wright Pat Air Force Base. Even south into Springboro, we're seeing lots of icy conditions out on your roadways. Of course, we're going to continue to follow this developing situation for you. Stay right here at Dayton 24/7 Now, but also on our website, Dayton247now.com.
Part of the reason that we did see all these slick conditions develop is still the threat of some flurries and light snow. It's not the amount of snow this morning by any stretch of the imagination. It is simply the fact that we still have some really slick conditions, and the ice is basically because of temperatures down in the 20s. So again, temperatures in the 20s, whatever snow on the ground, it is lead. The area shaded in purple, winter weather advisory. The main takeaway is no matter where you are, top to bottom, icy roads are possible. This is an area where we did have some heavier showers about an hour ago. Those have since moved out. I'm not necessarily as concerned about new additional snow amounts in this area, but this area would be more likely for roads to deteriorate based on what just happened over the last hour. So again, winter weather advisory, south part of our area, south to north, no matter where you are, east, west, there are some icy roads out there.
St. Patrick's Day is almost here, and not only should you wear your green, but you should save too. As Megan O'Rourke tells us, lots of local restaurants are celebrating the luck of the Irish.
Good morning, guys. What better way to celebrate St. Patty's Day than when deals on drinks and food? We're still a few days away, but here are just a few spots that you may want to check out. Now, this Friday on St. Patrick's Day, KFC is offering an 8-piece chicken bucket for $10. Usually that would cost you $14.99. There is a limit of 1 per order, and to take advantage, you need to get it yourself. No third-party delivery services allowed. Well, if you don't feel like waiting until the holiday hits, starting on Thursday, O'Charlie's will offer a special limited menu for $10. That's a savings of a few dollars per meal, and you'll be able to pick from fish and chips, a cheeseburger, or tenders and fries. Again, this is dine-in only and good only for Thursday and Friday. And at Krispy Kreme, if you wear green on either Thursday or Friday, you're going to get a free Greene Krispy Kreme Original Glazed Donut. No purchase necessary. They're also selling limited edition St. Patrick's Day donuts through Friday. So happy deal hunting, and may the luck of the Irish be with you.
If you want to know how you're stretching your dollar, grab your phone, scan the QR code.
Chime in a picture or video and share your money-saving tips. You might see them featured right here on Dayton 24/7 Now.
6:46 our time right now. We want to go back to those multiple backups this morning. Look at this all across the Miami Valley. 75 at Dixie Highway, things are slowing down. 70 at Dayton International Airport Access Road. That is a hot mess this morning. So if you have to get to the airport, you want to leave now if you're leaving anytime soon, because I'm not quite sure when you're going to be able to get there. 75 at Northwoods Boulevard, that exit is shut down. We're going to have more coming up for you in just a minute.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now. We want to give you a live look at your on-time traffic. We are dealing with some major issues as you head out the door this morning. Take a look at the bottom right-hand corner. We know a semi is disabled on the off-ramp there at 75 and Northwoods Boulevard. You also see some flashing lights slowing down traffic just a hair there at 75 and Dixie and Moraine. Then our main issue this morning is at I-75 at the Dayton International Airport Access Road. That is a big old mess. Multiple commercial vehicles crashed due to weather conditions. Multiple lanes are closed. There are some minor injuries. We are continuing to monitor this closely, and we know our reporter Alex King is en route to that location right now, so we'll bring you updates as we continue to monitor the winter weather this morning. Take a live look at that map. You could just see lots of yellow, so give yourself some extra time as you head out the door.
And it's one of those mornings where this is not 6 inches of snow. It's not blizzard conditions. This is ice, and this is black ice. We've got temperatures in the 20s. Right for now, it does look like the snow has stopped across the greater Dayton area, but we're still continuing to see those snow showers. And now perhaps a little bit of a heavier one moving in towards Preble County. See just a little bit of that deeper, darker blue. That's a sign that the snow is coming down in a burst as opposed to just flakes in the air. And if you were out and about yesterday, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where there were periods where it was a flurry, and then all of a sudden it came down. The difference between yesterday and today is we've dropped about 10 degrees. This temperature, for whatever reason, is highly supportive of ice formation. And also, it's worth pointing out that the roads have cooled. Maybe not necessarily they're bone-chilling cold, but they have cooled enough that we're going to contend with this throughout the morning, up until probably 10 or so when the snow will move out. From there, it's going to be a relatively cloudy to partly cloudy middle part of the day. From there, it turns a lot more clear overnight. Will be quite cold. Difference between this morning and tomorrow morning is clear skies, light winds. It will probably dry out other than a couple of spots where you are going to have those ponded areas where the water just doesn't quite go away. I'm not expecting anywhere near as many issues for tomorrow morning. Today, mid-30s. Again, early snow showers, although it seems like the heaviest has now started to depart. 22 for overnight. Tomorrow will be in the mid to upper 40s. One quick look at that 7-day forecast, because I don't want to distract from what is a very busy morning, but the distraction is going to be towards the end of the work week, where the temperatures up around 60. Again, this morning, it's in the 20s. If you are traveling, give yourself plenty of extra time, and also bring along a jacket just in case that you do encounter some of these delays. You may be stuck in your car a while based on what we're seeing on some of the roads.
Our time right now at 6:52. The Fed watching the Silicon Valley Bank closely at 7 over on Fox 45. The president's response to the collapse and when the Fed's review will be released to the public. We now know this morning a person has died after a house fire along Bierce Avenue. Now this is video this morning of the crews fighting those flames.
Now Dayton Fire Department tells us the fire started on the first floor of the home and they saw smoke pouring out of the window. This comes on the heels of several other deadly fires in Dayton in just the last week. This morning we're learning police are investigating another deadly fire in the Miami Valley as a homicide. Sunday, Trotwood police and fire crews responded to a house fire on Gardendale Avenue. They say they found an adult man and several dogs in the home. The man, 26-year-old Jaquan Hardy, died at the scene. Crews were able to rescue the dogs. Now, both these fires come after last week's deadly fire on North Broadway Street. We first told you about it as breaking news here on Dayton 24/7 Now. Fire crews found bodies after they demolished the building. It sparked new calls for more funding for fire and homeless services in the city of Dayton. Some now also calling for the reopening of Fire Station 10. It closed in 2017 because it couldn't maintain staffing. To read about the push to reopen the station, visit the story on our website, Dayton247now.com.
This morning, a new proposal on abortion rights could be on your November ballot. Supporters are collecting signatures right now, hoping for a vote to replace Ohio's current heartbeat law. Gwyneth Falloon has the latest.
When the board approved the proposal yesterday, confirming the initiative includes only one proposed amendment, the initiative entered the signature collecting stage. Supporters need at least 413,000 signatures by July 5th to put the question on the November ballot. Should it pass, the right to an abortion would be guaranteed in the state until the point of viability, which is when a fetus can survive outside of the womb, and those who perform the procedure would be protected from punishment. If supporters receive enough signatures and it passes in November, legal expert Thaddeus Hoffmeister says it will replace the heartbeat bill, which bans abortions once a heartbeat is detected, usually around 6 weeks. Instead, it would allow abortions up to 21 to 24 weeks.
It's going to go much further than the heartbeat. Viability is viability outside the womb, so it's you have a much longer period to obtain an abortion. Where with the fetal heartbeat, you can find that much earlier in the process.
Again, over 400,000 signatures are needed to even put the topic on the ballot. The votes have to come from half of Ohio's counties. Should that requirement be met, the signatures must then be verified by the Ohio Secretary of State 65 days before the election. Reporting, I'm Gwyneth Falloon.
We now want to give you a live look this morning from the Miami Valley Jail's website. We now know this man right here, the name of the accused of stabbing someone at an auto parts manufacturing plant in Inglewood. This is Lytus Jordan III. Now faces charges of murder and felonious assault. Investigators say he stabbed and killed 42-year-old Sean Moore. Police arrested Jordan after reviewing security footage. A grand jury is now looking at the case.
Senator J.D. Vance now says crews aren't cleaning up East Palestine fast enough. He blames the EPA for not doing more to help people living near the site of the derailment.
The fact that we have this massive chemical spill and the people here still don't have any confidence that this stuff is going to get moved out of their community in a timely way is a complete disgrace and a complete failure of leadership. So we need to do better.
Well, just last week, the Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw testified in front of a Senate committee. There he apologized for what happened. Shaw wouldn't commit to paying for anyone's long-term health care or compensating homeowners who could have trouble selling their homes.
Officials in